jumping on here. I appreciate it. So,
Yeah.
for I'm sure everybody knows Krista, but maybe if there's one person that doesn't, she is a legend. She is a top leader in EXP. She's a top team leader, top marketer. She is an author of a book and on and on. So, Krista, but if you could share just a little bit about yourself, and then let's just jump right into it.
Hi, Tom. I love Tom Yoakum. Good to see you. So I have been in the real estate industry for 24 years. I was a top 1% agent for 19 years while I was a full-time agent. I averaged 133 homes a year as a solo agent. The 19 years I was in the industry. And then I just hit my 8-year mark coaching. The year I left real estate to get into coaching, I had sold 154 homes that year. And I was I used to be a teacher. I missed teaching and coaching. And so I literally quit real estate and I went full time into coaching. So for the first couple of years when I was coaching, we did like 100 homes, and then, but it's to the point now where I'm only doing about 15 homes a year, just enough to where I know what's happening and working in the marketing aspect of real estate before I teach it to my students. So yeah, that's me. And I've written 7 books, Tom, not just one, so 7.
Ooh, 7.
Yeah. So what I thought I would do is, I thought, it's not very often that I get to be on a call with like 25 people. So I'm so excited about it. And I thought instead of just, throwing a bunch of data at you and reading from slides, that we could just have a conversation. I don't know if that would be helpful. To give you an understanding of what my specialty is I am literally one of the world's best marketers in real estate. My specialty is really using AI and sales funnels. So digital marketing and marketing is my specialty. From the person that created funnels, he actually has said that I am the world's best funnel builder in the world. Even better than all the guys out there. Like I beat the guys, ladies. So I love that. So, and what a sales funnel it's basically is driving traffic or people to like a website, but to a specific place where they can get information about a specific thing. And the reason why it works so well is because you know why they're there, and you can really indoctrinate them in a really positive way on one specific thing. So I'll give you an example of a sales funnel. I've written a book for sellers and buyers, right? And I'll run do information content on social media, and then I'll drive them to a sales page where they can actually either purchase or just consume information about my book, right? That's a funnel. It's kind of like when you go to a website, you don't know why they're there. Are they there to look at your reviews? Are they there to figure out what your areas of, to search properties? You don't know why they're there. But when somebody's going to your funnel, you know exactly why they're there. And research shows that the more your content speaks directly to someone's need to solve their problem, the more you will convert. Okay. Another example of a sales funnel that I create or teach my students to create are like community specific sales funnels, which is a funnel that's all about one specific city or one specific like neighborhood, right? And then in that neighborhood will be information. Like every single month, we'll do a market update about what's happening in the neighborhood. And I'll show like every month, by the 15th of the month, they can go to this, they can download a QR code or just go to the funnel page, and they could actually get information about that neighborhood specific, right? Now, why does that help me? Well, because then when they're interviewing 3 agents, if I show up and beforehand, I've dropped off my book, I've sent them to my funnel for a course about selling, a course about buying, let's just say. And then they go to I send them directly to my neighborhood specific community funnel. They're like, wow, this person must be the go-to person. So that's the idea. So, my thought would be is like for 2026, what I would ask your goal, I believe right now should be, how do I differentiate myself as much as possible in what I'm doing? How do I make it to where I am the absolute go-to obvious choice? And it's really difficult to beat me because I make it impossible for anyone to show up better than I, right? That should be the one thing, because I know everyone says that real estate's so competitive. And what I will tell you is I don't believe it is, because it's so competitive and everyone's doing the exact same thing that it makes it really easy to stand out if you make that your mission, right? Your mission should be, how do I make sure that I stand out and I do what no one else is doing? I call it, number one, winning before you arrive and being known before you're needed. So the first thing is, if you look at, like, there's a study from Google, it's called the 7-11-4 principle. And what that says is that people need 7 hours of content. They need to actually consume 7 hours of you, and they need to have 11 different interactions on 4 different platforms before they will ever click. Okay? I want you to think about it. And that study's old. So let's talk about artificial intelligence and the way the human beings behave. Okay? Do you find that you behave differently now with AI? How many of you are afraid to answer your phone, right? You don't want to answer your phone because you don't want someone to clone your voice, right? We haven't wanted to answer the door for a long time. We're afraid we're going to get shot or something. So we don't answer the door, especially me. I work from home. I'm a woman. I'm alone. I like the door knocks and I'm like diving into my couch. You're like, who's there? Right? So we have to think about the way that the human behavior is. We have to adjust and adapt the way that we market and the way that we show up, because humans are different. Okay. So ask yourself, what am I doing to really adapt and adjust the way that people are responding now in the world? And I will tell you is that it's an information-based society right now, especially in real estate. You need to be making sure that people know who you are before they need you, known before needed, especially in real estate, because the National Association of Realtors says that people start thinking about buying or selling around 6 months before they actually take action. Well, I was in a mastermind with the top brokers and real estate agents from across the country. And this is about 3 years ago. Hi, love. We did a study and we realized, and it was closer. It was 11 months and 3 weeks. That was how long, when we backtracked, when somebody was actually first clicked, or right, it was almost a year before. Hi, love. How you doing? Good to see you. Before they actually took action and decided to buy or sell. So that means you want to make sure that they know who you are. Anytime someone thinks about real estate in your community, they should be thinking about you. Well, how do you do that? Well, the 11-7-4 principle. 7-11-4 principle. Are you producing content on a regular basis to make sure they know who you are? So that's the first thing. Second thing is, how do you win before you arrive? What do I mean by that? How do you make sure that before your appointment, that no matter what, that nobody can beat you? I don't care how new you are in the industry, how new you are to a city. If perception is reality, if you're doing what no one else is doing, it's so easy to beat people because agents are lazy. I love them so much, but they are lazy, and it's so easy to get your real estate license. You just take a test and whammo, you now have access to the biggest financial thing they'll ever do. There you go. Right? You'll be surprised if they even confirm the appointment. Okay? What I did before an appointment, or did when I teach, so let me show you, hold on a second here, is, here we go. Hold on a second, all right. I'm just going to show you this because I want to show you you want to be excellent in what you do. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'll just show you this and we can ask questions, but you want to be excellent in what you do. And it's so easy to be excellent because nobody else is willing to be excellent. They're lazy. Okay. So how do we be excellent? Well, number one, research shows that the more your content speaks directly to someone, the more you will convert. I want you to think about you. When you have a problem, my husband about 2 years ago, he was pre-diabetic. Okay. That guy that just gave me the kiss right there. And I was like, what? How is he pre-diabetic? He's skinny. Well, he was eating I realized babe, tell me about your day. He's eating Taco Bell, McDonald's, double Cokes. And I was like, no wonder you're pre-diabetic. But I went online and I researched like crazy. And then the person that was giving me the most information was the course that I purchased to be able to help him not be pre-diabetic. So I was looking specifically for information about pre-diabetes. Okay. So let's take this. if I'm a home buyer and somebody's meeting with me, and I know right now I need to earn, everyone says show your unique value proposition. Well, I want to show them why they should be working with me. So before our appointment, I'm going to drop off this box. The path to your dream home starts here. And there's a QR code here. And that QR code goes to a course that takes a buyer through everything you can think about from buying a home. And then I have my buyer book in there, right? And then I've got other information and data for them. Okay. Now let's just say somebody, they tried to sell their home doesn't sell, right? Expired. You guys are going after expireds. Everyone else is calling them and they're saying, oh, by the way, yeah, I got a buyer. Well, they all know you're full of crap because if you did, you would have brought the buyer there. Okay. Everyone knows that's not true. So instead, let's give them information and do what no one else is willing to do. So I drop off this box and then there's a QR code that goes to a course. Hey, the reason why your home didn't sell is because your agent most likely did not market it appropriately. Right. And then inside I've got all my information. Now you're like, well, you're going to do all that, Krista, and you're going to drop all that stuff off. And yeah, because I know that if I can sell 2 houses, that's more than most people make in a year. Right. Okay. And then, if I've got somebody that's like I've got a box for veterans. I've got a box for divorce. And it's all specific information. If I'm getting divorced, I'm going to the divorce specialist. And even if I don't do a lot of divorces, but it looks like I do, I could be, does it make sense, everyone? So like when I was an agent averaging 133 homes a year, somebody called me and this is the stuff that I did. I was relentless in my pursuit of excellence and differentiation. And I constantly would add to my toolbox. That's all you need to do because no one else is willing to do it. They're not willing to take the class. They're not willing to invest in their skill set. They're like, what? You want me to spend $3 on a book? It's like, yeah, I do. Less than 1% of the population are authors. That elevates your authority. So I want you to first of all understand that it's so easy to win in real estate, but you have to be different. And it's so easy to be different because nobody's willing to be different. So that means you could start now and in 12 months, you could have a completely different business. And I'm going to stop talking in a second. Let me just tell you a quick story because I promise this is real. Okay. I was an REO agent and, my best year in real estate, I did 169 transactions. They were REOs. I'd rather be like a stripper on Vegas than ever have to do that again because REOs are hard. Okay. Very hard. All right. It's like you would do a BPO and then spend 3 hours and then your computer would crash back then and be like, so it was really difficult. So I would go to work and all of a sudden there'd be like, I had the HUD account. I had, Wachovia, Green River Capital. I had Freddie Mac. And I'd come to work and there'd be like 5 assets, just 5 houses to go list. And that lasted about 6 years. Then all of a sudden I was like, whoa, it seemed like it was almost overnight that everything went away. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm coming to work and there's no assets. And I was like, nobody knows who I am now. I haven't been marketing myself. It was like I was starting from scratch as a brand new agent. And I was like, oh crap, what am I going to do? What I did was I decided I'm going to be a marketer. I'm going to make sure everybody knows who I am in this community. So I started doing exactly what I'm telling you. Okay. But the difference back then was that, I spent like $6,000 and I had like 2 30-second commercials built. I took those commercials and I put them on Comcast. I paid $3,000 to $4,000 a month on Comcast. I took those commercials. I put them at the movie theater. So everybody else was like a picture. And then there was Krista's video going on. People, I'm going to tell you, within a year, it was back up to over 100 homes a year. And they were all regular sales. Why? Because I invested in myself. I invested in my business and I made sure that I was different. I made sure that anytime somebody thought about real estate, they knew Krista. And I dominated the market. Like it was impossible to beat me. And then I did what I just showed you. I would drop off all this stuff beforehand. Then I created a 12-minute marketing presentation that basically showed them why they should hire me. And it talked all about like how I'm going to market their home and how I utilize social media. And now it's got AI in it and how we're using AI to pick the right fit buyers. Like I would send that there before I got there. So it was really difficult to beat me. I mean, I had to really screw it up big time. And I would honestly win about 99% of them. I didn't win sometimes because they were like, we like you, but you talk way too fast. My 95-year-old mom is not going to be able to keep up with you. And I was like, oh, I get it. But for the most part, I would win. Okay. So if there's anything I can tell you today, and I hope it's this, and I hope you really believe me because I believe it. And I know it to be true because I've now coached thousands of agents. A brand new agent, which many of them are doing this, just so you know, because a lot of you on this call are my age or older. They are winning you not because they're better, not because they're more skilled, not because they know more than you, but they are more visible. They have more visibility. And AR says that, what is the stat? Like 70% of people will choose the first agent that they call. So be the first agent they call because they know you before they need you, number one. And number two, make it impossible if they're interviewing other agents for them to beat you because of what you do before you get there. You have to win before you arrive. Okay? If you do that, I guarantee you that if you stick with this for 12 to 18 months, and I know that people are going to lie to you and tell you to do it in 30 days. They're full of crap. It's real estate. Things take time. Just stick to it and you can make so much money in real estate. You can impact so many lives. And so many agents do not care. They don't educate themselves. So you should be the one that gets it, but you have to do things differently. Okay. I said I wasn't going to speak at you, but I kind of have been for like 20 minutes. So let's talk.
Well, this is great. So I just have a question. I love the fact that you say you really need to differentiate yourself. So how does someone really identify a niche that aligns with their strengths? How would you recommend they do that?
That's a great question. First of all, so like people want to work with people that they know and that are like them, right? There's tons of research on psychology. People like to work with people like that's why a lot of times you'll see like an African-American agent with an African-American family, right? They want to work with people that look like them, that sound like them, that act like them, that do things that they do. So what do you love doing, right? Like, do you love golfing? That's a niche, believe it or not. Like incorporating some of your personal life into things could be your niche. A great niche is new construction. I had a student that was a brand new agent. He sold 24 homes his first year coaching with me, his first year in the industry. He joined right away. And I was like, pick a niche and you're going to do this. He sold 24 homes his first year. 23 of them were new construction. That was his niche. 23 out of 24. True story. He's actually an EXP agent now. His name is John something. Okay. Also, another great, like if you've gone through something, let's just say you've gone through divorce. By the way, I'm not getting divorced. I don't know if it's going to happily married, but let's just say you've gone through a divorce, right? I mean, you've gone through it. You understand it. Like that would be a great thing for you to do. Let's just say you have an elderly parent and you just recently went through, and if you have an elderly parent, you know how moving can be and downsizing and how hard it is and all the mental things that go through their mind. And I actually have something for you that I'll give you guys. And that is a custom GPT that I created, or a prompt that I created this will help you if I can do this now, but that can help you identify who your dream client is. Okay. Do you want me to show you how I do it? Because what I do is I have a custom GPT that I've created, or a prompt, and I do something called meta prompting. Now, what meta prompting is it's you take multiple prompts or multiple steps to get the best output possible. Does that make sense, everyone? So the first step is, okay, am I going after just sellers or buyers? I can just do that. So let me just kind of show you what I do, and I'll get you guys access to this. And the first thing that I'll do is, let me pull it up. I wasn't planning on doing this, but since you asked that question, I want to be able to make sure I give you.
I was on your AI class yesterday, Krista, so I got.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Oh, was that helpful?
Yes. And I signed up for next week's session too. So.
Oh, guess what, Linda? I'm giving you guys all a free thing for that. So I'm going to have to give you back $27 or whatever you paid her. Yeah. Or you can just pay it forward. Just pay it forward. Yeah, pay it for it. Okay, let me pull up. Here we go. So the first thing I do is I'm like, okay, let me see who I'm going after. Now, why is it important to do this first, right? Because again, the more relevant, recent, close in proximity, those are marketing principles, that something is, the more it speaks directly to someone, the more it will convert. So I'll give you an example of this. If you do a video and you say it's a great time to buy a house, blah, blah, blah. Interest rates are higher, but there's more opportunity because sellers right now are willing to negotiate. They're all this stuff. Let's just say I'm a veteran and I don't have really good money. I don't have a lot of money in the bank. I don't have the best credit. I don't think I can buy a home. So I'm completely ignoring what you're saying. But if I say, are you a veteran with not a lot of money in the bank and not the best credit? Do you know, because you served our country, there are actually loan programs available for you. Thank you for serving our country, by the way. Now, all of a sudden, the veteran is like, oh my gosh, that's me. Are you thinking about getting divorced and you're afraid that, and you've got small children and you're afraid that it's just going to destroy them? And you need to sell your house and you have no idea what to do to make it as easy for them as possible. And you're also really afraid that you're going to be spending thousands of dollars in attorney fees. Well, hey, I'm Krista Mashore, and I specialize in helping people who are going through this. And unfortunately, I was in your situation, 20 years ago, and I went through it too. So I understand. My goal is to really help people go through divorce when they have small children, make sure that children are okay and not affected, and not to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars paying attorney fees. That's what I do. Do you get it? Okay, so now I know you're thinking, well, Krista, I know if I niche, I'm going to lose people. Not true. Okay, there is an agent in my area. Her name is Lori Aberu. The name of her company is Delta Ranches and Homes. Okay. When I was an agent, I was always the number one agent. I could not beat Lori Aberu when it came to a ranch. She would beat me. Why? Because she specialized in ranches. She was better than me. She should have beat me. She knew about lot sizes, how many animals you could have, what you should do for septic. I didn't do that. I did them once in a while, and she should have beat me. She was the better agent. Okay. So, but Lori still sold other properties. She still sold other properties. And guess what? When I went against her on a regular property, I beat her every time. But she still got the opportunities. Make sense? Okay, so let me show you the first step, and I'll make sure I get this to you. So here's the first step is finding your dream client. Okay, so the first thing is who's my target market? What do I sell that makes me different? All of that. Okay. So you'll put all this information in here. Okay. And you're answering this. Now, one thing I suggest all of you do, and I'll show you what I do, is let me go to ChatGPT and let me just do this. Now, the first thing that I'll do is I'll drag and drop who my ideal client is. So the first thing I did was I just went over that document I just gave you. I'm going to drag and drop it in here. My ideal client is real estate agents. So I'm dragging and dropping that in there. What I do for agents and lenders, now I'm dropping that in there. So what you should have is you should always have who your ideal client is. Sometimes it will just be sellers or buyers, or sometimes it'll be a specific one, and why they should hire you. What makes you different? Okay, you put those two things in. This is called meta prompting. And now it's going to help you create content. Okay, now if you look over here, I have these custom GPTs made. Let me show you that next. So let's go over here. Let me see here. Hold on. Sorry. You go to new chat or explore GPTs. Sorry. Explore GPTs. I'm going to go over to my GPTs. And then I'm going to go down and I'm going to show you what a custom agent is and what makes it different than just utilizing a chat. Okay. So one of the custom agents that I've recently created for my students was teaching them how to do AEO and GEO, creating content so that content will help a language learning model recommend them. So notice this. This is a custom GPT and it's got instructions, but there's only a certain amount of instructions you can give it. So what do you do? I feed it all of this other documentation. So all of this documentation is documentation that is specific to this custom agent or GPT. So now what I can do is I can go ahead and utilize this. Let me just share update this with you now. Now I'm going to go over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop, right? I'm going to drag and drop. Let's just do downsizers. I'm going to drag and drop my unique value proposition. Okay. And then I'm going to say, please utilize the attached senior downsizer PDF, as well as Jane Lynn and Krista's unique value proposition, and help me create an AEO and GEO article specific to my avatar. Okay, now this custom GPT is made to help me create search engine optimization and ask engine optimization to have a language learning model recommend me specifically. You saw the documentation that helped create this custom GPT, yes? The second thing I'm doing is saying, I'm going after downsizers and I want you to tell me what makes me different. How did I get the downsizer document? I filled this out, okay? I filled this out and I'll get this to you so you all have it. Now we're gonna go ahead and hit enter and let's just see what it gives me. And then we can ask questions. Now, I did a training yesterday on this. Why is it not working? Here we go. So it's searching the information. It's looking at my documents right now. Here we go. See, it knows I'm from East County. I don't want it to say it every time, right? It's pulling up information for me. How to downsize safely and stress-free as a senior in Brentwood, California. If you're a senior homeowner in Brentwood, California, what am I doing? I'm speaking directly to my avatar. Instantly, I'm hooking them, okay? And you've been quietly thinking, I know I need to downsize, but I don't even know where to start. You are not alone. Many longtime homeowners feel overwhelmed, emotional, even fearful about downsizing, especially when they've lived in their home for decades, which is exactly how they feel. The process can feel confusing, rushed, and impersonal, and handled the wrong way. This guide is written specifically for Brentwood and East Contra Costa County seniors who want a calm, respectful, step-by-step way to downsize without pressure, confusion, or being taken advantage of. The reason it's saying this is because of, if you look at my downsizer, let me make this bigger so you can see it. Okay. This right here is telling it who it is. It's a 78-year-old. Oh, you guys can't see that, huh? Let me just share. It's taking the information specific for this document that I built, right? What is she struggling with? What she's already tried, looking at a few listings online. She's worried about getting taken advantage of, having to make decisions under pressure, not being able to afford to move, leaving behind too many memories, becoming a burden to her kids. This is everything she's thinking. So I need to make sure that my marketing speaks to that. Okay? Do you guys understand? That is why it's so important. I know I'm going really fast. I only have 45 minutes, but that's why it's so important to understand who your avatar is. And you create these custom agents that are made for specific things. So I'll get you those prompts. So here's what I would tell you to do. Okay. Number one is you need to figure out who your ideal avatar is. Then what you would do is you would take the information you get back, because it's going to spit out this awesome information, and you save that, you download that onto your desktop. And then every time you go to use, and you could have different avatars, right? You go to create something, you drag and drop that into your language learning model, whether it's Claude, GPT, Perplexity, whatever it is. And then you also create something about your unique value proposition. What are your unique mechanisms that you offer that make you different than your competitors? What's your unique value proposition? And create a very lengthy, long, gorgeous, like I stick my marketing plan in there. I put my books in there, all that. And then you save that. And each time you drag and drop that. So it creates information that is specific to you. So you're not every single time, writing it down. Okay. So now they're going into all the different aspects of downsizing, right? All of this, right? Create a dental plan. This is a whole guide it's giving me. Now I can say, this is amazing. Can you please make me 5 short form videos and reels that speak specific to my avatar? And then it will do it too. Okay. But now what I would do, honestly, is I would take this and put this into I wouldn't use this bot. I would put it into my custom GPT that I created for content, because it was written specifically to do that. Okay. So questions.
So while we're chatting about AI, so what other AI tool are you utilizing to either automate lead nurturing or something else. What other AI tool are you using?
So ManyChat is a huge one that we're using right now. ManyChat is awesome. It's like when you see people saying, "Hey, DM the word X, DM the word realtor, and I'll send you XYZ," and then a whole workflow happens. The goal is to get them off of social media platforms onto mine. We also have like we're using N8N. I'm using Abacus. You guys have access to Lovable through EXP, which is amazing. Like you could literally vibe code anything. Now, when you're vibe coding, what I would tell you is think about how you can create something that someone else can use to help you attract business, and make sure that when you're vibe coding which is basically creating your own app or your own workflow or your own, funnel or website, that you have an end use in mind. I want to create something of value that can get people off of this platform into my CRM, into a meeting with me. Okay. Don't just create something to create it for a reason. Also, I know a lot of you are all excited about, creating your AI clones and all this. What I would tell you is this: that's fun, right? I have spent like hours and hours with it because I do it as a hobby, but unless you're going to utilize something like that to truly help you in your business, be careful of shiny object syndrome. Okay. Protect yourself from that. There's a lot of AI out there. Another thing I'm going to tell you is I'm on my 5th AI coach right now. Okay. And I've spent well over $100,000 hiring AI coaches. And a lot of people are making it sound like AI can just take over all of your business and can do all these things for you. Honestly, when they talk to you about agents, let me give you an example. Okay. I hired a guy to come down and spend 2 days with my team, $50,000. And basically he was like, I'm going to teach you how to do, create this whole business flow and create all these agents to do X, Y, and Z for you. He got here, and guys, I'm letting you know, I was like, hey, I'm really sorry, but I'm not paying you. It was basically him utilizing a software called Manus to create agents like I've just kind of showed you. I showed you one agent, which is an AEO agent, and try to sell that as this business in a box thing. We're not there yet. I mean, it's there, but it's very complicated. Don't stress yourself out about, oh my gosh, my whole business can be automated. It's not true. People are lying and trying to sell you something let me waste my money and not yours because I'm hiring everyone to help me. And I'm realizing very soon that it's a lot of hype out there. Okay. We're using custom GPTs to have conversations with people. So we have conversational GPTs that we're using through our CRM. We're using phone agents that are calling people, right? They're doing what I call lead reactivation. That's one type of AI I'm using. We're also doing AI to call people, remind them, send them links, do all that, which are all different types. But I think that a lot of times right now, people are getting a little bit kind of sold on things that don't really exist quite yet. And so be careful. Be really careful. I feel like I went on a tangent. Sorry.
Awesome. Other questions? We've got about 7 more minutes. Let's go. Rapid fire. What do you have?
Krista, with this 7 hours, 11 interactions, 4 platforms, if somebody wants to dominate a local community, what would you say is the best way to, what 4 platforms would be your choice there?
So first of all, I'd figure out where if I have a specific avatar, where my avatar is at. Right? So for example, if my avatar is in their 30s, they're more so on Instagram. Instagram is one of the best platforms. People that a lot of people on this platform, I would say more so Jaden's probably more of an Instagram, TikTok person. Whereas I would say probably Leonard and Clark are probably on Facebook. So I would figure out where they're at, and then that's where I would market most. When you market, and also everyone, one of the things that is really important is it's never been easier to get exposure, Don, which means it's never been harder, right? So you want to, I always tell people, for $5 a day, the cost of a cup of coffee, I can teach you how to get in front of hundreds of thousands of people in your area by running paid ads. Skip the wine, ladies, skip the, whiskey, men, don't drink coffee in the morning. Instead of drinking Starbucks, spend the $5 on advertising. on marketing locally. Make sure that you're going on people's feeds and you're having the algorithm make sure that you're being seen, because right now you're only being seen by people that are interacting with you. That's how the algorithm works. If Dawn likes my stuff and Dawn talks to me, the algorithm says, okay, they're friends, they like each other's content. Let's put more of it in front of them. You want everyone else in your community to see you. How do you do that? You pay to play. Okay, you pay to play. So spend the money to learn how. Okay, so everyone, I'm going to be inviting you to a free event. Oh, let me see here. Hold on a second. It is actually Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and we're going to be going over social media video. It's because Tom has me here. You guys can show up to it. It's on Zoom from your home. It is live. I've been doing this for 5 years now, but it's a brand new one. As Leonard said, he went to a 90-minute training I had yesterday on AI, and he signed up for it. So we're going to be talking about how to differentiate yourself, how to create content, the type of content to create, and really focusing on how do I become known before I'm needed, and how do I win before I arrive? That is that's what it is. And what I recommend you guys doing is do a watch party together, right? People sign up for it and show up and make it your most important thing. Because I guarantee you will learn so much if you go. So if you go to KristaMashore.com/free Tom, then you guys can have a free ticket to it. And this event is normally $400. So if you go to it, it's $97 for the event and it's $300 for the upgrade. Pretty sure we're giving the upgrade on that as well. Okay, more questions. I want to help. What else can I help with? I love marketing. I'm just like obsessed with it, everybody.
Krista, I can tell. You've thrown out, so many different processes. I guess this QR code and what you're talking about right here, is that going to kind of dissect and put this into a palatable thing to where step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that we can actually, implement this stuff and execute it well enough to where we can see success as well?
Absolutely. So we're going to start off with basically there's going to be some strategy, because it's really hard for me to teach you, like, let's say how to create a video or how to edit a funnel or any of those things, right? So we'll be giving you the strategy behind it, but 100%, we're going to be showing you like how to run ads, what objectives we use, what videos to create, how to identify your ideal avatar, all of it. I'm going to be on the computer. I'm going to be doing kind of like what I did today in a much slower fashion. Also, what I can do, Tom, if you email me, is the webinar that I did yesterday, if you're going to go to the event, it'll really help you to go through the webinar that I did yesterday, because it'll help give you a head start with understanding, like, how do I understand who your avatar is? How do I utilize what's called meta prompting to help you be more successful? I can get that to you guys to watch if that's helpful.
Wow, that's awesome. This is like drinking out of a fire hose. Okay, we've got time for 2 more questions. Let's go. Rapid fire.
Sorry if it was too much. I didn't mean to. People ask questions and I go on a tangent.
Good morning, Krista. My name is Ashley. I want to know how to get out of like 200 to 500 view jail.
Okay, so tell everyone, do me a favor. How many times over the past week have you pulled out your pocketbook to spend $5? Maybe it was a cup of coffee. Maybe it was like, how many times? Think about it. How many times have you wasted money on something that wasn't important, that you didn't really need, that you didn't have to have? 10 times, Treva says. That is $50. Okay? For $150 a month, for $5 a day, you can get massive exposure. Like, okay. I have videos that have 400, 500, 600 hours of watch time. I'm going to repeat that. 500 hours. I've got hundreds of them. This is local marketing when I was a real estate agent. Okay? You pay for attention. You pay for exposure. $5 a day. You all can afford it. And if you can't, I say bull crap. It's your business. You have to invest in it. You have it. You just have to say no to something else and say yes to you.
Thank you. Do you have any tips for how we should target our marketing or our ads?
Meta, No, it knows so much more than you do. The less you give it, the better. Right?
Okay.
Its whole goal is to help you be successful, and then it will also market for you on Instagram, which is awesome. I always tell people pick one platform and master it. Learn, implement, master, repeat. Learn, implement, master, repeat. Pick one platform and master it. Mine was Facebook. Every marketer in the world always markets on Facebook. It's the #1 platform for marketing. So Don, to your question, and Facebook also markets on Instagram. So you run ads, it goes to both. Okay. And you can dominate your market. You can dominate your market if you to learn to do it correctly. And it's not difficult. It's just different. It's like anything else. You just got to take the time to learn it. I have spent hundreds of hours on AI, everyone, because I know how important it is and I teach it. So like, I'm a geek, but I know I have to do it. I'm willing to put the time in, right? I have to put the time in. And the crazy thing is that everything's so much easier now than it was 6 years ago when I started, 7 years ago, 8 years when I started coaching. It was way harder to teach people how to edit a video. Now you just talk to it and it edits it for you. Everything is so much easier now if you'll just give it the time to learn it. It's like hard now, hard for a short time to learn it, so I can have easy for the rest of the time, or do I want hard forever? Most people choose hard forever because they're not willing to sacrifice short term. So anyways, I want you to tell me who goes. Send me a message. Let me know if you go, and let me know how you guys think it is. It's live. And this one, what I do is I record this one, and then it's live, and it'll be evergreen for like 5 or 6 months. So I do it live like every 6 months. So it's live this coming next week. It's next week, 8 to 12 Pacific.
Well, this is awesome. This is great. Thank you so much, Krista. So if anyone wants to reach out, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
I'll give you my email. I'll put it in the chat. Or on socials is always good too, although my team checks that.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. And also, if any of you want a recording of this, it's in the chat. It's on our Facebook Atomic Habits page, okay? So, and tomorrow, don't forget, reignite your business. We've got Jeremy Larson that's going to, if you're local in Northern California, he's going to be at the PCAR tomorrow from 10 to noon. We've got a lunch at our office. And then don't forget Cabo. Sign up for Cabo. It's going to be amazing. You're not going to want to miss it. Invite guests, bring your team. So now I'm losing my voice. I'm so excited. Y'all got your inspiration. Time to put in perspiration. Thanks, Krista.
Bye, everyone.
See you later. Let's go. Go,
Krista.
Woo!
Thank you.
Thanks, Krista.
You guys are welcome. Thanks for having me. I have fun. I love it.
Krista.